What's up, everyone? CCF here. Welcome back. We love talking about the latest tech, but today, let's dig deeper. Where do the materials powering our gadgets actually come from? I'm talking about critical minerals, lithium, cobalt, rare earths, the backbone of our digital and green future. These resources aren't spread evenly. A few countries control the supply, shaping global tech and politics. For this video, we're diving into the top 5 nations powering the future. We'll break down which minerals they dominate, why it matters, and how it impacts your favorite devices. It's a different kind of spec sheet, the one that underpins everything else. Ready to see what's really inside your gadgets? Let's get into it. First up, the Democratic Republic of Congo, the world's cobalt powerhouse. The DRC mines about 70% of the world's cobalt, a mineral essential for lithium-ion batteries in phones, laptops, and especially electric vehicles. Without cobalt, our batteries wouldn't be as powerful or long-lasting. As EV demand surges, so does the need for cobalt. Each car battery can use up to 20 kilograms. This gives the DRC massive leverage in the global tech and auto industries. But this mineral wealth comes with big challenges. Much of the DRC's cobalt is mined in dangerous, unregulated conditions, often involving child labor. This creates a dilemma for tech companies. They need cobalt, but consumers demand ethical sourcing. Companies are under pressure to trace their supply chains and prove their cobalt is responsibly sourced. Initiatives like the Fair Cobalt Alliance are trying to improve conditions, but the scale of the problem is huge. The DRC's dominance means the future of electric mobility is tied to this one nation. Global powers and corporations are all vying for access, making the DRC a geopolitical hotspot. The world's appetite for batteries keeps growing, but so do the ethical and logistical challenges. As you admire your sleek new device, remember, its power starts in the mines of the DRC. The story of cobalt is both a technological foundation and a human rights challenge. The DRC's role isn't going away anytime soon. No other country comes close to its cobalt output. The fate of our battery-powered world is linked to how the DRC manages its resources. How the world engages with the DRC will shape the future of tech. It's a story of opportunity, risk, and responsibility. The next chapter in tech starts here. Let's move on. Next, China, the rare earths superpower. Rare earth elements, or REEs, are vital for everything from headphones to wind turbines to military tech. China doesn't just mine these elements, it processes about 85–90% of the world's supply. This dominance is no accident. It's the result of decades of strategic investment. By offering low prices and handling the environmental costs, China pushed out global competitors. Now, almost every advanced electronic device relies on China's rare earth supply chain. In 2010, China restricted exports to Japan, showing just how much leverage it holds. This move shocked tech markets and exposed the world's vulnerability. Since then, countries like the US and Australia have tried to rebuild their own rare earth industries, but catching up is slow and expensive. China's grip on processing remains tight, and the world is still largely dependent. From your phone's vibration motor to the magnets in EVs, China's rare earths are everywhere. This is a masterclass in long-term strategy and industrial policy. As demand for high-tech and green energy grows, China's role as gatekeeper only gets stronger. The global race to diversify supply is on, but China's head start is massive. The story of rare earths is the story of modern technology, and China is at the center. Every device you use is touched by this supply chain. The world is learning just how critical and fragile this link is. China's rare earth dominance will shape tech and geopolitics for years to come. Let's see who's next. Now, let's talk Australia, the world's lithium leader. Lithium is the core of rechargeable batteries, powering everything from smartphones to electric cars. Australia produces about half of the world's lithium, mostly from hard rock mining in Western Australia. The Greenbushes mine alone is a global giant. But here's the twist. Most of Australia's lithium is shipped to China for processing. Australia is the miner, China is the refiner. That's changing. Australia is investing billions to build its own lithium refineries. The goal, keep more of the value chain at home, and become a true battery superpower. This shift means more jobs, more profit, and a more resilient global supply chain. For battery makers, a stable source of refined lithium from Australia is a huge win. As EVs and gigafactories multiply, Australia's role only grows. The country's vast reserves give it a foundational advantage. The global battery race starts in the Australian outback. Australia's ambition to move up the value chain could reshape energy geopolitics. The world's electrification depends on this white gold. Australia is no longer just a quarry, it's aiming to be a battery powerhouse. The next time you see an EV, remember, it probably started in an Australian mine. Australia's lithium story is just getting started. On to the next mineral giant. Heading to South America, Chile, the copper and lithium heavyweight. Chile is the world's top copper producer, supplying over a quarter of global demand. Copper is essential for all things electric wiring, motors, EVs, charging stations, and power grids. The green energy transition is built on copper, and Chile's massive mines like Escondida and Chuquicamata are at the heart of it. Chile's economy rises and falls with copper prices, but Chile is also a lithium giant, extracting it from brine in the Atacama Desert's salt flats. This method is less energy intensive than hard rock mining, but uses huge amounts of water in a dry region, raising environmental concerns. Chile is the world's second largest lithium producer, with companies like SQM and Albemarle leading the way. This dual dominance, copper and lithium, makes Chile a cornerstone of electrification. Any disruption in Chile's mining sector sends shockwaves through global supply chains. The government is pushing for more state control and greener extraction methods, a story to watch. Chile's minerals are the backbone of batteries and the grids that power them. Without Chile's copper, the energy transition stalls. Without its lithium, batteries don't get made. Chile is a one-stop shop for the electrified future. The world's race to electrify runs through Chile's mines and salt flats. The balance between economic gain and environmental protection is critical. Chile's choices will shape the future of green tech. Its influence is only set to grow. Let's wrap up with our final country. Finally, Russia, a critical player in nickel and palladium. Nickel is key for high-performance EV batteries, especially in energy-dense chemistries. Russia's Nornickel is the world's top producer of high-grade nickel, vital for automakers. But geopolitical tensions and sanctions have thrown the nickel market into chaos. Companies are scrambling to find alternatives, but replacing Russia's output isn't easy. This exposes the fragility of global supply chains and the risks of relying on volatile regions. Now, palladium, mostly used in catalytic converters for gasoline and diesel cars. Russia supplies about 40% of the world's palladium, giving it leverage over the auto industry. As EVs rise, palladium demand will eventually drop, but for now, it's still crucial. Russia's dominance in these metals forces companies to rethink sourcing and supply chain security. The country's actions have accelerated the search for alternatives and new investments. The dependence on Russian minerals is a stark reminder. The energy transition is as much geopolitical as it is technological. Where materials come from matters as much as what they are. Russia's role, supplier or pariah, will shape the pace of change. The journey to a new energy future is full of risks and recalculations. The world is learning to adapt, fast. Russia's mineral power is complex, but its impact is undeniable. Let's bring it all together. So there you have it. The DRC, China, Australia, Chile, and Russia. 5 countries that hold the keys to our tech and energy future. From cobalt to rare earths, lithium, copper, and nickel, the story of modern tech is written in their minds. Understanding this landscape is crucial for the challenges ahead. The race to secure these minerals will shape economies, politics, and innovation. Next time you pick up your phone or see an EV, remember the global journey behind it. Which country's role surprised you most? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.